morning, grade 4 students. How are you? So welcome to a new English lesson. So this one is lecture 6 for week 8. So what are we going to cover in this video? So this lecture is about grammar. So in this lecture, this is a grammar and writing lecture. So what do we have in the grammar? I have to identify subjects and predicates, recognize compound subjects, and recognize compound predicates. So this one is about subjects and predicates, simple subjects and predicates, and compound subjects and predicates. First, let's look at this sentence. The bees were buzzing among the flowers. The bees were buzzing among the flowers. Let's ask ourselves a few questions. Is it a complete sentence? In order to be a complete sentence, it should begin with a capital letter, has an end mark, correct end mark, depending on the type of sentences that we have. And it should give a complete thought or idea. So is it a complete sentence? Our answer is yes, it is a complete sentence. Now, what are the main components to make up a sentence? I just listed them. Beginning a capital letter, ending mark, complete thought, should have naming part and a telling part. Now pay attention to this word, naming part and telling part. A subject. What is a subject? The subject is what or whom the sentence is about. Sometimes we call the subject the naming part. For example, the player missed the sports period last week. The player here is the complete subject. So let's explain. So the subject in the sentence is what the sentence about or whom the sentence about. Who are we talking about in the sentence? This is the naming part. If you remember when we were talking about fragments sentence, we said that the naming part, when one part of the sentence is missing, we call it a fragment sentence. So which one? We said that these parts are the naming and the telling part. Now the subject, now we know that the subject is sometimes called the naming part. Not only that, the naming part or the subject, it can be a simple subject or a compound subject. Okay, so now we are still in the simple subject. In this sentence, the player missed the sports period last week. It means he didn't do the sports period. So what do we conclude in this sentence? That the player is the complete subject. This is the complete subject because we are talking about the player. Now, what is the predicate? Let's read it closely. The predicate explains what the subject is or has done. Sometimes we call the predicate the telling part. For example, we are using the same sentence. The player missed the sports period last week. Missed the sports period is the complete predicate. So we are still using the same sentence, but now we are analyzing it. First, we said that the player is the subject or the naming part, because when I ask who's the sentence about, who are we talking about in this sentence, I got to the conclusion that I'm talking about the player. Now I want to define, or I want to identify, where is the predicate in the sentence. The predicate, the completed predicate, usually comes after the subject, and the completed predicate, it explains or tells what the subject is or has done. Here in this sentence, the player missed the sports period last week. I can ask, what did the player do? What did the player do? So this one, the part has done. So what did the player do? I can say the player missed the sports period last week. So from the word missed, my predicate starts. My predicate starts from the word missed. And what kind of words is this word missed? What is it? Is it a noun? It's not a noun, right? Because a noun names a person, place, or thing. Usually the subject is a noun. But, so what is this word missed? Is it a verb? Can I see an action in this word? Yes, it is a verb. It is a verb. And it also because it's in the past tense, because I have ed in it. So the player missed the sports period last week. I can say that from the point I have a verb. From the point the verb starts, okay, then I can identify my predicate. From the point the verb starts is where I start underlying or identifying my predicate. So the complete predicate here is all the remaining sentence. Missed the sports period last week. So what is the simple subject? We are still using the same sentence and it's a good idea. So simple subject, what is the simple subject? The simple subject is the main noun or pronoun in the complete subject. For example, when I say the player, so the word the is not part of the simple subject. The word the is the complete subject. The player, this is the complete subject. So the simple subject is only the main noun or the main pronoun that is in the complete subject. So here the word player by itself is the main subject in a sentence. If we remove the main subject, it will affect the meaning of the sentence. I cannot say, for example, the missed the sports period last week. It doesn't make any sense. So this is the simple subject. So what is the simple predicate? So the simple predicate is the main verb in the complete predicate. Remember when we said that the complete predicate is the sentence, the other part of the sentence, which is the telling part. Missed the sports period last week, for example. But the simple subject is only the verb, This one, we call it the simple predicate. I hope everything is clear. So let's just recall what we have covered so far. We said that in a subject, in a sentence, I have a simple subject, simple predicate, complete subject, and complete predicate. In the sentence that I have, the player missed the sports period last week, the word player by itself, this is my simple subject. And when I add that to it, it becomes the complete subject. Now, the part of the sentence which is missed the sports period last week, the word missed, which is the verb, this is the simple predicate. But missed the sports period last week, the rest of the words, these are the complete predicate. I hope that everything is clear and it's not confusing. So now let's do some practicing. Now let's practice. Underline the complete subject and circle the simple subject in each sentence. Sentence number 1, the student was late. So where is the complete subject? First, we have to underline the complete subject. So as we said, the complete subject is the one who's doing the action. So it is the student. Now, which one is the simple subject? Can I assume that the word the is part of the simple subject? No, because only the pronoun or the noun can be considered as a simple subject. So the simple subject is student. Sentence number 2, she played the piano beautifully. Now, where is the complete subject and where is the simple subject? The complete subject is the word she, the pronoun she. It's also the simple subject as well, because it's only a pronoun. Sentence number 3. The great magician lost his rabbit. So where is here the complete subject? Who lost his rabbit? You can ask yourself this question. Who lost his rabbit? The great magician. Therefore, this is the complete subject. Now, what is the simple subject in this sentence? It's only the word magician. Number 4, birds protect the babies. Where is the complete subject? Who are we talking about? Who protect the babies? It's the word birds. So birds is the complete subject, and it's therefore the simple subject as well. Now we're going to practice. Underline the complete predicate and circle the simple predicate in each sentence. We're going to use the same sentences as before. Number 1, the student was late. So we have identified that the student is the complete subject. Therefore, was late is the complete predicate. However, only the word that tells us what happened or who or what is the student or what happened with the student, okay, is the simple predicate, and it's the helping verb was. Second one, she played the piano beautifully. So she was the simple subject. So from here the complete predicate is therefore played the piano beautifully. It's the finishing of the sentence. Now only the verb in this sentence is considered the simple predicate, and therefore the word played is the simple predicate. Number 3, the great magician lost his rabbit. So lost his rabbit, this is the complete predicate. Now what happened to this rabbit? It was lost. So the word lost is the simple predicate. Number 4, birds protect their babies. The complete predicate is protect their babies, and only the word protect, which is the main verb, is the simple predicate. So now that we finished practicing about the simple and the complete subjects and predicates, now we will move on to the compound subject and the compound predicate. Now the compound subject is 2 or more simple subjects with same predicates. They are usually joined by conjunction words. Conjunctions such as and, or. These are the 2 conjunction words that we are going to go. For example, the sentence I have, Tom and Jerry are best friends. So here, how many subjects, how many people do I have, or how many characters do I have in this sentence? I'm talking about 2 of them, Tom, Jerry. So how can I use 2 subjects in one sentence? By the use of the word and. And that's a conjunction word. So when I say Tom and Jerry, it means here in this sentence I'm talking about Tom only, Jerry only, or Tom and Jerry. Of course, I'm talking about both of them. So this one here, when I have 2 subjects with 1 predicate, what is the predicate? Are best friends. Okay, so this one here in this sentence, I can say that the subject of the sentence is a compound subject. It's compound because it's made of 2, Tom and Jerry. So this is my compound subject. So now you have the simple subject, the complete subject, and the compound subject. Compound means 2. A compound, just like when you study about compound words, when you have a word and then they are combined together to form a new word. So compound means more than 1. I'm talking about more than 1 in the sentence. So this one here, we call it compound subject. Now, same thing can be applied in order to explain the compound predicate. So it's as simple as that. The compound predicate is 2 or more simple predicates, but they have same subject. They are usually joined by the conjunction and, but, or. So I have the word but here. For example, Tina fell. Fell here is the verb. So I have only 1 subject, who's Tina. What happened to Tina? Fell down and hurt her knee. What happened? Fell down and hurt her knee. So I have two verbs in this sentence. First she fell, then she hurt her knee. So two means compound, and I use the conjunction word and. So in this one I cannot say that I have a complete predicate or simple predicate. No, I have a compound predicate because I have two verbs. So what is the predicate in this sentence? I start from the word fell, so fell down and hurt her knee. So now we're going to practice on the compound subjects and the compound predicates. Underline the compound subject and circle the conjunction. So as we said before, a compound subject is made of two subjects. Let's read the first sentence. The cows and sheep grazed freely across the farm. So what are the two subjects that we have here? They are the cows and sheep. These are the two subjects. So this is our compound subject. And how they are joined together? They are joined by the word and. So and is the conjunction. Sentence number 2. Apples, oranges, and pears filled the fruit basket. Now here I have apples, oranges, and pears. This is the telling part. This is the naming part, sorry. So I have three here. I have three subjects because a compound can be made of two or more subjects or predicates. So here I have apples, oranges, and pears. This is the compound subject, and they are joined together at the end by the word or by the conjunction and. Number 3, the teacher or the supervisor surprised the students. So as we can see here that I have two naming parts. They are the teacher and the supervisor or the supervisor. So this is our compound subject, and they are joined together by the conjunction or. Number 4, Gwen, Juanita, or Marcus will lead the team tonight. So I have here three naming parts, or the naming part is made of three subjects: Gwen, Juanita, or Marcus. So here this is my compound subject, and the conjunction word is or. So now here we have to underline the compound predicate and circle the conjunction. So let's read the first sentence. The ducks flew overhead and landed in the water. So I have here the ducks. This is the naming part or the subject. What did the ducks do? They flew overhead. This is one thing, and landed in the water. So now I have a compound predicate, which is, it starts from the word flew, and it's joined by the word and, the conjunction and. Number 2, Tanya walked or biked to school every day. So Tanya, this is who are we talking about? So this is the subject. So I start from the word walked. This is the verb, walked, or biked. So these are two verbs. It means here I have a compound predicate starting from walked, but they are joined together by the conjunction or. Number 3, the glass fell off the table but didn't smash. So I have here the glass. This is the subject. Fell off, this is one of the verbs, and didn't smash, this is another action that happened. It didn't smash. So my predicate here, compound predicate, starts from the word fell off till the word smash, and it's joined together by the conjunction but. Number 4, Kina finished her project and went to the science fair. So I'm talking about Kina in this sentence. What did she do? First she finished and then she went. So this is my compound predicate. It starts from the word finished, and the conjunction is the word and. Now that we have finished our grammar section of the video, we will move on to the writing. The writing is linked to our previous lesson about the hamburger sandwich or hamburger paragraph, how to write hamburger paragraph. So this is just like a revision. The top bun, in the top bun I have the introductory sentence. The introductory sentence introduces the reader to the topic of your paragraph. Try to make it exciting. Now the introductory sentence differs from the topic sentence. The topic sentence has the main idea in it, right? And it's usually in the beginning of the paragraph. The introductory sentence is, it introduces the readers to the topic in an exciting way. What do I mean? For example, you can use an idiom in the beginning of the paragraph. You can start your paragraph with a question. You can start your paragraph stating something happened before, or in order to start your paragraph about the topic that you're going to talk about. Okay, for example, you can say, despite the fact that I have traveled a lot. So this is an introductory sentence, and now you will move on to the topic sentence. You can say, for example, my trip with my friend was my favorite. So despite the fact that I have traveled a lot with many people, okay, so this is your introductory sentence. My trip with my best friend was my favorite, and this is your topic sentence. You're going to talk about the trip with your best friend. You're not going to talk about all the times that you have traveled before with other people. So that was your introductory sentence. You used it in order to grab readers' attention to you. And one more thing, the introductory sentence, you only state it in the beginning of the paragraph, and you do not mention it later on in your paragraph. So this is the introductory sentence. We will do some exercises later on in order to understand it properly. Okay, now we will move on to the stuffing of the hamburger sandwich. We said before that we have the cheese, the meat, and the lettuce. So we can add details between the two buns, okay, between the introductory topic sentence and the closing sentence. Now we have to be sure, like let's make it a rule for us to add at least 3 details, okay, in the paragraph. Now these details, we can state reasons, like why is this trip your favorite. You can say, for example, because my friend is not bossy, for example, or does not take charge. You can state this thing. You can say, for example, because my friend makes me laugh. So now I'm stating the reasons why is this trip was the best, or why is it my favorite. Or you can say, for example, you can give an example. For example, you can mention a small story, like you can say, for example, we went shopping and she was a great help, like she helped you a lot when you did shopping. So anything that will support the introductory sentence, because the introductory and the topic sentence, because you said in the topic sentence that this trip was your favorite because of your friend. So you have to mention why. So you have to give examples and give some reasons why was this trip your favorite. So these reasons are just like the lettuce, the tomato, and the cheese and the meat in the paragraph. We have to put at least 3. Okay, now here we say, like, be sure to add delicious details. What do we mean? A good paragraph includes details that describe, so it should have descriptive words, or tell about the main points or reasons. They must stick to the topic. Now these details, they should be delicious or interesting. When you write a hamburger paragraph, compare your details to all of the yummy parts of a hamburger, such as the lettuce, the tomato, the cheese, and the meat. So what do we mean here is that make sure you have variety of sentences. Okay, make sure you add descriptive words. Don't make your sentence dull. Let's make your sentence bright. For example, rather than saying we went or we sat in the kitchen to make food, You can say, for example, we all gathered around in the cozy kitchen. For example, it's cozy, and we helped each other in making, don't just say meal, you can say, for example, in making our traditional dish. Adding some words, okay, will give the readers more, will give the readers a perfect picture or a clearer picture about what you're writing about. Now, but however, adding too much details isn't quite a good thing to do. We will talk about this in the next one, but here, which detail in this paragraph does not belong? Which detail doesn't quite belong? I really love my brother. So we have here to find out which sentence or which detail does not belong to what I'm talking about. I really love my brother. So this is the introductory sentence. So apparently here that I'm going to talk about my brother and how I love my brother. His name is Jeff and he is super funny. One of my favorite things to do with my brother is playing video games. He always reads me bedtime stories. Sometimes my sister cries at night. Maybe my brother will play a video game with me tonight. So we have to find out which sentence doesn't talk about the brother, because I stated in the topic sentence that I will be talking about my brother. His name is Jeff, so I'm talking about brother. And he is super funny. I'm still talking about my brother. So this detail belongs to the topic. One of my favorite things to do with my brother, so again in this sentence I'm talking about my brother, so it is related to the topic sentence, is playing video games. He is also referring to my brother, so this sentence also related to my brother. Always reads me bedtime stories. Sometimes my sister cries at night. Now this sentence is fishy, right? It doesn't belong. I can feel it. Sometimes my sister cries at night. It has nothing to do with my topic sentence. It has nothing to do with my brother. So I think this is the sentence that does not belong. Maybe my brother will play a video game with me tonight. So this one also belongs to the topic sentence. So I'm sure now that sometimes my sister cries at night is the sentence that does not belong. Okay, now the trouble with too much details. How would a hamburger taste if it had ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, barbecue sauce, Swiss cheese, spicy cheese, olives on top? Too much, right? Yes, so this one will cause a problem. When you add too much details to a paragraph, it will make your paragraph long and your page, the paragraph will extend to pages, and then you will lose the interest of the readers. They will not be interested anymore because you keep repeating the same thing more and more. So also too much details is not a good idea. Just add the details that you think are important and they are linked to the next or to the coming events in your story. And so what do we have for the concluding sentence at the end? The bottom bun of a hamburger helps hold all of the ingredients together. It works with the top bun to keep the meat, cheese, tomato, and lettuce from falling on the floor. So the concluding sentence of a paragraph helps hold all of the sentences together. It works with the introductory sentence to keep the details from falling apart. The concluding sentence should be interesting and let your readers know that you are finished writing, and it should wrap everything up. Now usually you put in the ending or the concluding sentence you can mention your feelings, but later on you may rewrite what you said in the introductory or in the topic sentence, rewrite it in a different way in order to wrap everything up. It's like you are confirming what you have stated in the topic sentence. So this is the end of our lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was beneficial for you. And if you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact me anytime. And see you during our Zoom meeting, and stay safe.
Okay, so before you leave,